What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome to Whenever We're Here podcast. I'm your host, LESKUZZY, and that's Nick215. Uh,
Good.
right before we even start, if y'all hear my voice a little bit different, uh, we were at the Boots fight, and um, my voice is kind of lost a little bit. So, it's bad if I scream a lot of like a couple of times more, I'll lose it. So
You're
that's why my
screaming because
voice.
of the haymakers.
God damn, bro. Yeah, man. We ain't gonna ask how Vinicius was doing. I saw him yesterday, so we doing great, man. Uh, where we starting, bro?
Shoot,
We
we can
starting with the
start with the
fight.
fight. That was fun. That was fun.
All
That was a
right.
great event.
Yeah. So me, VINIQUE, and most of my family, we went to the Boots Ennis fight. That's why you see me wearing the Boots Ennis shirt. Uh, I have another one that I'm sitting on, but this is from his last fight. I think you saw me wear it a couple times before. But we went to a Boots Ennis fight. We saw like how many? We saw a couple fights. I want to say seven in total or eight.
Hmm.
But we
I think it
missed
was six. Six.
we missed the first fight of the day. That was earlier. We were on the road going there. We missed one of Boots' protege, Dennis, his first professional fight. But we saw Ish win by decision. We saw Christopher Cotto puts the hands and feet on that the Mexican or the Spanish bull, and we saw another preliminary that went the distance. Then we saw Khalil Cole, Hackett, the ladies. Then we saw Boots. Uh, uh,
Literally everybody that the crowd rooted for actually won.
yeah.
There was no upsets. There was no.
There was no upsets. There was not much drama. Nobody was disappointed. Uh,
Hackett and what's his name was a little bit closer than I think it should have been, but that might have
uh,
been because Hackett was kind of
control.
swinging for no reason.
Yeah, Hackett could have knocked him out if Hackett just, kind of controlled him, uh, kind of more cut off the ring. I want to say not cut off the ring, that just use his jab. That's, that's the other thing. Like every fight I think the most boring fight, I don't think there was a boring fight, but there are some fights that some of us, like me, I went to the bathroom during the ladies' fight because I knew it was going the distance. Uh, but it was actually fun. Like it was an actual fun event. Philly was in there. Some people were smoking weed. Some people were smoking backwoods. Hey man. Uh, but we're gonna start. We saw Ishmael Muhammad, the chef, one of Boots' proteges, or who trains under Boots, is like Boots' younger brother. Or I'll say not Boots' younger brother, but Boots treat him like his younger brother, right? Uh, I think that was his fifth fight. This is the second time going the distance. That was the first time going 6 rounds. Got dropped in the second round. Got caught with a shot. Got dropped. Uh, Came back, dropped him. I think in the fourth. Dropped his opponent in the fourth round. But it was a good fight. Then we saw Caro. Caro was putting hands and Caro is
Pardo put hands and feet on that Spanish man.
that
Um,
that man that the whoever, I think Puerto Rican, I don't know where he was from, but he got put hand. Caro put hands and feet, was to the point. I think the ref stopped it or he knocked him. Yeah, the ref stopped it,
yeah, the ref stopped that one. I remember
and
that.
the ref needed to stop because it was getting bad. Like after the second round, it got bad. It got way bad because Caro started throwing them combination punches, and he was throwing punches in bunches, bro. It wasn't like picking and choosing where he's punching. He was like, I mean, when he saw like the guy was wobbling, he started throwing like 10. I want to say 5 to 8 punch, 5 to 7 punches combination, just throwing punches, and he was not letting up. He won by TKO. Then we had Diaz. Did Diaz win by TKO? Am I not missing? I think Diaz won by
Diaz.
yeah, you won by TKO, right?
Yeah,
We had two
yeah.
TKOs. Yeah, Diaz won by TKO.
Actually, three because Boots.
Yeah, we are talking about the
The
premiere
one,
before the 8 o'clock fights, the ones
yeah.
that was on TV.
The
Uh,
only actual KO is Ko and
yeah,
Ritter.
yeah. So then Diaz had a TKO, total knockout. Ref stopped it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, but he was putting hands and feet on people. Then Cole came around 8 o'clock. Cole versus Rita, Rambo time. He we were just I think we started making picking people because we were just bored at some time. He picked Rita at the beginning. Rita came out with the DMX theme song. We thought Rita was gonna
Bro, bro,
he
you can't walk out with that theme song and then lose like
bro, he had the Rambo time, got knocked out in the second round. Cold too.
that.
Nice knockout. Nice cold knockout. Uh Man, that boy big stepper from the. It felt like he was in Jersey. He was in Philly, but Philly showed love for Jersey that day. Man, the big stepper got a TKO knockout. Came out, and then we had the ladies. The ladies came to fight Vegas versus Sky. I
Nicholson.
know
Nicholson.
it was. I go lie. Now this fight, I want to say this. Vegas, you need to learn how to block because you are blocking the punches with your face. God damn.
Every single jab.
Every single
Even though
jab
they
went through.
barely had power on them, but it was
Bro,
every
then
jab.
every
Easy.
jab. And I think I heard it when I got home. Well, I went to sleep when I got home. But I woke up early and I watched the post fight. Only her and Boots at the post fight interviews on like podium with the interviewers. And they asked her, were you going for a knockout? She's like, technically speaking, I heard it a couple of times, but she was not going down. She's a tough, like she was. It's like because some people, if they took the punches that she took, should have been down, should have been knocked out. But bro, Vegas that didn't block. She didn't block, bro. You gotta put your hands up. Block. Your hands are there to block. You use the not. You're not only they are not there to punch, but you can block with your hands because you are blocking the punches with your face. Your head was like a bobblehead. I'm gonna lie to you. Your head was a bobblehead. Every time she threw a jab, it was hitting. She even started calling you a chicken. That's disrespectful. She started shimming, hitting you with the jab. She's like, you can't touch me. Jab, bro. She was wild. Yo, Sky was that was disrespectful what she did to you.
Yeah, she cooked
And
that.
she cooked it. Every time Vargas tried to put her head down, throw punches with blind. Hey, it didn't.
Homegirl had no way to get inside.
She didn't have no.
Yeah,
I
her
she. I
jab.
don't think the way she threw a jab was terrible. Not terrible, but she needs to. I think she needs a new coach. Hey man, it happens. Got cooked, got schooled, got hit with uh a boxing lesson. You know, uh we saw some celebrities in the at the fight. Shakur Stevenson was in there. Philly didn't give him so much love that they were cussing him out. He funny as hell though. I'm gonna lie, he is funny. He's the villain because when Philly started talking shit, he put out the middle fingers right before he went on TV. So at the fight, you can't hear what he was saying, but after the fight, I listened to what he was saying. He really didn't say much anything bad. He said Boots was his favorite fighter, one of his favorite fighters to watch right now. Right now he's doesn't have a promotional company, so he's sitting down with promotional companies. Right now he just met with Oscar De La Hoya, Gordon Promotions. He was invited by uh Eddie Hearn to come to the Boots fight because him and Boots are close. They're friends since amateurs, so he came to support Boots. Plus, also have a meeting with Eddie Hearn. Uh, we had Gillian Waddle. We had Cole, Brother Boots. We had a lot of the whole
Yeah,
Philly.
Easy was in the building.
Easy was in the
Shout
building.
out to Battlerap.
We had
Good.
Cool Boy Stephen, Cool Boy Steph, Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia was in the building, another boxer from Philly. Eh, most people in most boxing fans will know him. When one of the top who was one of the top people on Boots' weight class before Boots got there. In before Boots started making his name in the welterweight, he was one of the top names. We had other boxing fans. This is for the boxing fans. We had Abdullah Mason, young
Mm-hmm.
up and comer who looked fast exactly like Boots, who take punch just to he would take a few punches just to make sure he punches you back. Uh, so we had a lot of celebrities in there. We had the Grand Twins. There for people on Instagram who follows the two twins. Who like boxing like from a young. They've been viral since they were I think babies. Like they've been. I went on their Instagram. They had pictures with Shaq when they was super young. But yeah. But now let's go to that was the famous went to decision 10 rounds. Sky won unanimous because she was just whooping on
It
that girl.
was it was 190, 10-9 every round.
Yeah, like it was. Then we had Jalil Hackett versus Pistol whatever Dobson whatever his name is, his first name, but he's I think his
That
nickname is
one was pretty
Pistol P.
close.
Pretty close, pretty close fight.
I think Dobson should have moved a little bit more, to be honest. He was
Dobson,
just still, but when he did catch him, he caught him, and it was pretty good
yeah,
shot.
got hit some couple of times. He had a lump on his head.
Yeah, that
Uh,
one was crazy.
then Major Hackett like his eye was swollen from taking a few jabs. Uh, but it was a good back and forth fight. I think they gave Dobson only 1 round, if I'm not mistaken, 1 or 2 rounds out of 10 rounds.
Yeah,
When I watched rewatched
probably like
some of
around like 6 and like 8 or something
yeah
like that.
I watched when I rewatched some of the the fight on the zone. I think they gave it two. He gave him 2 rounds or something, but they said Major Hackett was dominated most of the early rounds and nine and 10 and seventh. I think say I don't remember which round they gave it to Dobson, but I know that they gave Dobson the eighth round. That's one round that everyone gave him to, but I don't remember the second round that they gave him. Uh, yeah, that was good. But now let's talk about the main event, man. That boy Boots Ennis versus Avanesian, David Avanesian. Man,
I've
his last Avanesian, Abanisdin, Abasneeze, Ava, man. His nickname is Ava, so he's shit. David Ava.
nah,
Uh,
took the L.
I'll go lie to you. David Ava was there just to be a stepping stone because even when he was working out, they showed Boots on the screen before he even finished his workout. That was disrespectful. Even when they were introducing him to the crowd, they showed Boots like the cameras was pinned to Boots, not even him. I didn't even know how he was celebrating, bro. Uh, but hey, man,
It was an
did a
easy
good
fight for Boots, for real, for real.
easy fight.
He stood in there though. He stood in there. He got some heart. I like him.
Got a
He
heart.
just
Got
he just got he needed more movement for somebody like Boots.
got.
He was getting hit by everything. He was
He got
blocking
hit.
though.
He got hit.
He's doing
Broken
better than
nose.
Vargas.
He had
Yeah.
the I finally now hear why the well technically it wasn't the the doctor advised it, but the corner decided to say, yeah, we done. It wasn't the doctor was like asked the judge, do you want to continue? The doctor asked the corner, do you want to continue? Because they said he had a broken nose and a broken jaw.
hmm
Boots
It
broke
was
his
it was
jaw.
that clear shot. It was that
Yeah.
clear shot. Boots caught him
So
with a clear shot and
it's
put
shot
him down.
now, and he had a broken nose and a broken jaw.
Yeah,
The
he got
then
back up, but nah, he,
yeah,
he ain't want no more.
his whole right side was swollen on his jaw, and I
hmm
think, but from what I was hearing from the doctor, he said a broken chin, like his chin got broken. So technically, it's part of his jaw. So yeah. So he asked the corner, "Do you want to continue?" The coach was like, "Nah, we good." And but yeah, Boots came out with the Undertaker theme song. This is the second time he did this. Immediately when I heard the theme song, I was like, "Shit, we back to the funeral." And he had the McMill mixed in with Dreams and Nightmare was part of his mix when he was walking from the locker room right before he get to the entrance ramp. Then Cole brought him out. Uh, Philly type of thing. Mick was watching the fight. I don't know where he was, wherever he. I think he lives in Miami. I don't think so, but Mick was watching the fight.
Yeah, I thought Meek was gonna walk him out, but then when
Me too,
Core came out,
because
I was more excited for that.
yeah, I think I don't know if they ever talk about it, but Mick has said that they did talk about. I think he said they did talk about him bringing him out, but Boots was like, for the bigger fights, for the bigger fight, he'll bring Mick is gonna bring him out.
Yeah, because this is technically a replacement fight. It is the
Yeah,
homecoming though.
yeah, it was a
It's the
homecoming
homecoming.
though, but he said for the bigger fight, we bring Mick out for the bigger fight. I think you know Boots. I know, I saw some fans saying, "Oh, Boots took some shots," but shout out to Showbiz that doubt who said, "Bro, y'all gotta choose, y'all gotta pick and choose. Y'all were made at Shakur for tech, not punching as much, but y'all now made a Boots for taking punches, a few punches." He's like, "Y'all doing the double standard." He's like, "Oh, they're saying, oh, Boots can, because he took some shots, he's gonna get whooped by Terence Crawford." He's like, "Y'all forgetting this Devin Avanesian fought Terence Crawford the same way. And Terence Crawford did the same thing that Boots did. Took some shots, and Terence Crawford just knocked him. He had a flash, a highlight knockdown. But Boots just punished the shit out of him. Boots was just punishing him, just to punish him.
Yeah, he was hurting him up there. If you
Yeah.
really like see it in person, he was
Yeah.
hurting him. He was
He's
hurting
like,
him.
Boots was actually hurting him. It's just, he's like, and Shelby said, he's like, if you look at the fight, Boots took less shots than Terence did. It's just Boots was, first even Boots said he was that was not his 100%. His
His
timing was
timing was off.
off because of a year off from being in the ring. But in when I watched the Terence Covers versus Avanation, I'm like, bro, they did the Avanation style is he's gonna put your weight on you and try to throw punches while his weight is on you.
He
That's what he
threw
did.
about 130 punches in what, like three
uh,
rounds or something like
yeah,
that.
like it was 2 rounds over 100 something punches. So Boots was already whooping his ass.
Yeah, Boots was wilding.
I think after I saw when I was rewatching the fight on TV, on like with the commentary, after like I think the fifth round right before the knockdown, Boots was connecting 50%, and you hear the commentary. He's like, "This is an ass whooping." The commentator was like, "This is an ass whooping." And someone's landing over 50% of their punches, that's an ass whooping.
Yeah,
That was an ass whooping. Boots just took a few shots, got him with a flash, with literally a counter shot when Avanesha was going to the body with his right hand. Boots caught him with the left, set him go down and hit it. And then when Avanesha got up though, got hit again, like body punches were going. Literally, they were going crazy. We had short time part. That the crazy part. I was like, "Yo, Boots has made it. He got short time Porter at his fight. Like Sean Porter's at his fight.
true,
Crazy."
true. Sean
Even
Porter.
though like Sean Porter has said good things about Boots, he has been a plenty Boots fight, but it wasn't Boots was never the headline. He was the co-main event most of the time. But
Mm-hmm.
having Boots the headline and Sean Porter coming out being a commentator and an analyst, even after the fight when we were walking because they did the whole Sean Porter after we were on the thing. Sean Porter they were talking about the Terence Crawford versus Boots fight, and Sean Porter said, "Man, it's a pick and fight." He's like, because they do the same thing. He's like, after watching this, he's like, I can see now that Boots is going. Let's say Terence is gonna go with a left hand to the body. Boots is going with the right hand to the body, hitting each other at the same time. He's like, they have like the same mindset. Like they're going to they might. He's like, sometimes he's like, I have a feeling one of if they fight, there's gonna be a moment when both they wobble each other at the same time. and they're just gonna stumble backwards at the same time. It's like, and they will not be phased. Uh, you know, they talked about, it was a great fight. Boots, as we mentioned, the doctor that advised to stop the corner said, "Hey man, we had enough." Uh, People wanted a highlight knockout, but hey man, when
They
somebody's,
technically got one. He went right down.
yeah,
He got one.
he went down. He got up, but he did. It was an he got caught. Even you saw it. The funny part when you watch it on TV, when Boots knocked him out and the ref put him to send him to the neutral corner, Boots was laughing. He was like having like a laugh type of thing, and he's talking. I don't know who he was talking to, but Boots was comfortable. Oh yeah, then the funny part, Boots was asked about what he remember when I said Boots is talking to somebody. Remember when I think the second round I said Boots is talking to somebody outside the ring.
Hmm.
He wasn't. Boots said, "I was not talking. I was laughing at what Sean Porter was saying." He's like, "I can hear what Sean Porter was saying, what he was saying for the for the commentary. So I was laughing at him because he said something crazy." So I was like, "You can hear what he's like when I'm in the ring, everything slowed down so I can see. I'm aware of everything that's happening." Uh, you know, hey man, we had a great, great night in Philly. Uh,
Yep.
almost the whole Philly showed out. Even though some were at the baseball game, some came. I think after the baseball game, came straight down to the to the game. And Eddie Hansen, there were some people trying to buy tickets when Boots was walking out. I was like, hey man, that tells you a lot. Is that
Yeah.
there was a line of people trying to buy tickets when Boots was walking out. I'm like, yeah man, yeah shit. That I think they said there were like 15,000 people there. Almost the whole field was there, man. Uh, Great night. We saw a good, good type of fight. I don't know what Boots said in his press conference. They asked him about Terence Crawford fight. He said he signed the contract, Terence, because I think Terence said something about a world class something. I don't think he was directed to Boots, but Boots said, "Hey man, sign the contract." Uh, but he said that's not his focus right now. His focus is getting the rest of the belts on in 147 because Boots already has one. There's four more belts that he needs to get. No, three more belts. One right now, one of them belts is an interim belt that Brian Norman has, and I think after Turn's fight on August 3rd, Brian Norman is going to be elevated to the normal regular champion or a world champion. So Boots can get those three belts. I don't know how he's gonna get all three belts. Is he gonna wait for Barrios and Stellanones to fight each other so that if the winner of them has two belts, Boots can get one from Brian Norman, then goes and gets the two belts from PBC. But that's what's happening right now. You know. Then we
I think they'll
have,
fight eventually.
yeah. Uh, you know. Then we had a good fight. We didn't talk about the. I think last week we didn't talk about the Shakur Stevenson fight. So
No, I think we did. It was
with
probably said
oh
the
yeah,
same thing. It was boring.
but yeah, Shakur,
He was running
yeah.
around the ring.
Well, he didn't run around. He just didn't throw punches. Let your hands go, Shakur. Adora Mason had I think the highlight of the night that night. But yeah, we had a good type of fight, man. Uh, Now we got right before we go since we stay on the topic of yesterday. We has Hey, if everyone has seen what happened yesterday, some place in Pennsylvania, I don't know where exactly in Pennsylvania, but somewhere in Pennsylvania, Donald Trump got shot at, man.
Yep, yep.
Somebody shot. And I'm not into politics. I'm not a big politics type of person, but that shit should not happen. That should not happen. That. You might not like him. You might not want him to be president. Just don't vote for the guy if you don't like him. Don't shoot at people, man. I thought that was crazy. Not that was crazy.
I think I think
I saw.
even people going around saying that it was fake is kind of that's kind of crazy. I don't think it was fake by the stretch of anything.
Yeah,
I just people just not making sense right now.
hey
But
man.
yeah, y'all gotta relax.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
gotta relax. Y'all doing too much.
Yep. Nah, yeah, y'all gotta relax, man. It happens. Hey, shit. I don't care much about who's going for president and everything. So, but I don't. I care less. Whoever's president is president. Uh, Now let's talk about team. Let's go back to sports, man. Team USA had their first exhibition game against Canada. Uh, how do I feel about the team? Defensive wise, they're good. Good defensive team. They are gonna be great. Joel has to get used to the fever he found out in 12 minutes. I think that was the only bad performance from any player because Joel found out in 12 minutes as the starting center. Uh, and he said he gotta get used to some of the foul calls and everything that they call. There's a taunting call, so Joel likes to taunt sometimes. So the fever rules are way different. Uh, but they beat Canada. I think they have another exhibition game thing. Uh, uh, n- uh, Kawhi is no longer on the team, uh, and he was replaced by Derek White. People were mad about it, saying why is Jalen Brown not on the team? Jalen Brown believes it's because of Nike, but I don't think that's the reason why. Because Nike doesn't have any say so on.
Most of the athletes on the team are with Nike, so I don't know what the whole Nike's boycotting thing comes from. I literally seen a picture where the majority of the team is with Nike except for
Joel
Embiid
is.
and
I think it's
Curry
Joe.
and like one more.
I think not majority of the team is with Nike. Some, but I don't think most people know Nike sponsors United States. Nike is a sponsor for the United States, but I don't think Nike had a say so on who's on
They
Team USA.
they're saying actually that Nike is having a plummeting year and they're not selling as much. Um, I don't all the way believe that, but I mean I haven't seen anyone wear Nikes in a while, so I wouldn't be
Well,
that surprised.
I don't think Nike is not having a well basketball wise. Nike is not having a good year because I don't think they have a they haven't released a new signature shoe. Maybe that's why.
Other than LeBron's, I think.
Yeah, no, there's no signature athlete from Nike so far, right? Uh, since I think I think after the Kyrie thing, they haven't awarded some nobody with this except for Devin Booker. Devin Booker is the only other person who was awarded with a signature shoe, but they've been most players have been given Kobe's, right? Kobe's has been the type of thing, and I hear people saying, "Oh, Jalen Brown has spoke against Nike. That's why he's not on Team USA." Shit, Damian Lillard spoke against Nike, and he was on Team USA the last Olympics. I don't think that was the reason why. I think mainly is I understand the reason why people believe that, but at the same time, I think it was not about that. I think the reason why they got Derek White, they needed somebody to be that dirty type of player. Well, who does the dirty work?
Let's keep it a beam, bro. Let's all be honest. Even though nobody wants to be honest,
Hmm.
Jalen Brown can't dribble with his left hand. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying, I don't think he could dribble with his left hand. I think it's a very difficult task for him to palm the ball with this hand here and go downward with the ball. It's difficult. It's very difficult. I don't think it's
Hey,
any boycott. I don't think no one likes him or hates him. I just think he can't dribble with his left. That's it. They don't want you out there versus the Spain, versus Spain not being able to dribble with your left hand. That's it. That's it. Yes, they got all the old people out there. They got LeBron out there. They got Curry out there. They got mad old niggas. Anthony Davis, he frail. They got mad frail and old niggas. But we might be mad about Kawhi a little bit, just a little bit, because he always injured. But you,
well, he was injured even when he
non
went.
left hand dribbling little nigga, we not worried about you. And plus, the whole team is forwards. Derek White plays shooting guard or point guard.
Yeah,
Why would we pick Jalen Brown?
bro, and I think and the reason why they even, me personally, when I watched when you watch the how Team USA play, Jeremy Brown can fit. He's not a fit in what they are doing. He doesn't fit well. So I'd rather have Derek White over Jalen Brown.
And
But I
everybody
like
with these takes talking about, oh my God, it's the Finals MVP. They won't pick the Finals MVP, bro. It's about four people on that team that could have been Finals MVP, and three of them is on Team USA. So what we talk about? Like, it's okay. It's all right. We don't need Jalen Brown. It's okay.
bro. Then you
I don't
saw
even think we need more on the team. Y'all could have lost Kawhi and not replaced the player. I think y'all could have been cool with
no.
that.
I think the
Being
requirement you
honest.
gotta have 12 people on the team.
No, I know it's a requirement, but we'd have been all
I
right.
don't. Yeah, I don't think you needed more people on the team. But when you saw
Steve Kerr
out,
could have suited up.
bro, you saw. Did you see the lab between like the chemistry? And the one thing I want to talk about is the chemistry between Kyrie and LeBron. They play like they played together for years.
This is like that is true, but this is like putting an all star team of the greatest players of all time to go
Bro,
against niggas who struggle to even stay on a roster.
yeah, bro.
Like
Did you,
Kelly Olynyk and Dylan Brooks and who else? Like other than Shy and Jamal Miller, I don't want to talk. I mean, not Miller,
bro?
Murray. I don't
Yeah,
want to talk about it with Canada. Like Kelly
bro.
Olynyk and Dylan
Bro,
Brooks.
bro. Also,
Who?
I don't know. Dylan Brooks is one thing about Dylan Brooks is fun. He walked. I think he walked in front of Anthony Edwards and some other player when they were doing their interview. I think Joel.
Yeah, Joel and Ant is going to drop 50 on him, and
Joe.
I
It
should
was
buy tickets to that game. I want to see
Joel
that.
literally
I
looked
want to
at
see that.
him and he kept on doing the interview and just stared at him. Like he walked past and just looked and stared at
Ant
him
looked
like.
at him like dog. Him versus yo.
And I was like, yo, I was like, I was like, Dylan Brooks really is trying to park the bear. The last time he parked the bear, he got dropped. They dropped 60 on his head. He asked for 60 and he got given 60 on his head. And bro, it became, bro, the love between, one thing I noticed is how Steph Curry, I think eventually when is Steph Curry's contract over, man? I think he wants to play with LeBron.
You think so? Maybe.
Because immediately when I saw that before
He's
the
never
game,
leaving the Warriors though. When
yeah,
he
but
retires, he's never leaving the Warriors.
it was when LeBron, Team USA did like the whole arrival when players were arriving for the first time to the wherever they were. I think the hotel or something. you know, they were greeting each other. And Miro when Kerry so LeBron, he's like, yeah, I get to play with you now. He's like, finally, I get to play in an organized type of situation. He was so the way he was jumping. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I can't wait. He's like, then you saw the lob, and right after when they did the interview, and the same high he was shimmying, doing his shimmy thing. It was so funny. He's like, when he's like, what? He's like, y'all act like y'all played together for years. He's like, hey man, it's Steph Curry, man. That nigga
Like they
can,
did play together for years, and
yeah,
LeBron is so organized. Like if you don't
yeah.
really peep it, like he is so. Even when his team don't seem organized, is organized. Like
And you
Curry's
saw
team has not been organized for the last
then
couple of years.
then you saw right after the game, like I think LeBron brought the whole team, and like and Steph Curry were doing something else. And then when Steph Curry realized, he ran straight to the thing. I think the captain, LeBron is the captain because he
Of course,
was, yeah.
of course.
And you saw everyone was paying attention to what LeBron was saying.
He's the
But yeah,
oldest. He's the best player on the planet, and he's been the best player on the planet for a while.
yeah. But hey, man. So we gotta, But yeah, I think this episode is gonna be very short because we're running through most of the topics. We have not, we don't have big topics to really talk about. Oh, and now let's talk about, I finally has a chance to watch some of Gnome's it's 14 battles, right? I want to say this. Gnome 14 was cool event. I like why there was no crowd. Yeah, I don't like. Don't ask if people ask me, did I watch the Ron Nitty and Lord Axe? No, I didn't watch it yet. I'm watching it in order how the card went about. Well, I skipped some battle. I kind of skipped battles. One battle I skipped in order. I think I skipped the uh, Geechee versus Fonz, and I went straight to Tay Rock versus Jay West. And I tell you why I did that. Uh, I had high expectation for, I saw on Twitter people saying, oh, the best back and forth was Jazz and Coffee. Best battle of the night. Shit, that shit was not the best battle of the night. I'm gonna lie to y'all. They were both mid. I like Jazz. I tore away Coffee, but both of you, y'all can do better. That was not the best, yeah, of y'all. Jazz kind of addressed the champion of the year type of thing because I didn't watch the whole woman of the year discussion, but I think she got criticized because last year she took men battles and that's why she didn't come in first because she said she didn't battle enough females to be first.
I've been done with battle rap before that, but they robbed her in that category, and they robbed her in champion of the year category. For her not even coming in the top 10, come on, come on. I don't even.
Yeah.
Y'all are stupid. I don't even.
So
It's
yeah, but that was I watched.
because
So
she
we're gonna
can't.
start. I think Swerve versus franchise was the first official battle. That was a surprise battle. Uh, I like the battle. I gave it to franchise 2-1 because Swerve kind of choked at the end of the second, like the last like literally like the 1 second left. He kind of choked. He forgot. I think he forgot a line at word and he kind of messed it up and he choked. I'll say it's a choke because he ended it weird. Then he kind of picked it up in the third, but then the I liked French's third way better. So I gave it to franchise 2-1. Then I think it was Tita versus Danny Myers. As a Danny Myers did great Danny Myers, great battle from great battle rapper. Uh, but T Top was on another level. T Top was he was a little bit above every round. Danny Myers got outdone by T Top, and I think it's the reason because Danny Myers went first. T Top kept outdoing him. It was like then as I said, I didn't like the Coffee and Jazz battle because they were both mid. I watched it first watch. I didn't watch it again. Uh, I gave it to Jazz 2-1. Yeah, I can see people saying Coffee 2-1, but hey, Jazz 2-1. They were saying the same angle over and over again. It got repetitive. I think I gave Jazz the first Empire. I like Jazz's third. Yeah. That's it. But I can't tell you more about that battle because both of them were mid. That was not their best performance that I've seen. Next battle on the card was that I watched was Miss Sasa versus Swamp. Uh, Good battle. That was a good ass battle. I'll go lie to you. I liked it. Miss Sasa brought out the champion of the year, the women of the year belt. Talked about it a little bit. Talked about Swamp battling Aver. Uh, Talked about Swamp with the white man and his wife type of thing. Uh, Whatever she talked about a lot of things. Swamp kind of talked about touched on a lot of things. Uh, but he didn't do the typical thing that you expect from Swamp. Swamp did that against Casey. I think he learned, but he kind of used it again. But it was much better this time. Like talking about female trying to sexualize female. He kind of used it, but he said, "You are tall enough to be. I'll call you my bro." Uh, then he's like, "Oh, he's like because Miss House say you don't have a chance with me," something like that. And Swamp went into his rebuttal bag. He's like, Don't lie in New York. Don't lie. You act like you didn't want me. I didn't know goddamn Miss House was engaged or married, one of the two. But she showed off a ring. Uh, but it was funny. Then Swamp talked about her BBL. But the way Swamp talked about it, I was like, okay, I get what Swamp is doing. Then he made me think. I'm like, did Miss House had a a big thing before the BBL, or she added? He's like, you got a BBL on top. He's like, let me. He's like, you were fine before the BBL. Why did you add a more? Like he's like, your shit was already big. You just added more to the. I was like, wait. Then I thought about. I'm like, wait. I don't remember. I was like, wait. I need to go back and look how Miss House looked before the BBL and how maybe Swamp had a point, but it was funny. Then he talked about him selling, drug talk with Benny the Butcher was in the building. Benny the Butcher was right there, standing right there, and Benny the Butcher, I think he had already said, "I'm rooting for Miss Hassel." But I think at the end he started saying, "Hey, shit, Swamp is saying that talking that talk, man. Let me go with the fella." Uh, so that's what happening, and we found out that Summer Menace, I guess it's Kings and versus Kings 4 is inducted into Summer Menace or whatever. Kings and Queens 5 is kind of Summer Menace this year. Uh, I didn't see the announcements, uh, you know, but but we will we'll see what happens. Then I watched a first round of Jerry West versus Tay Rock. Good battle, good type of back and forth. Uh, I don't can tell you exactly who won the first round, but I like what both of them said some type of shit. But it was kind of funny, and so yeah, that was so the event was cool. So from so far, what I've rewatched the event, it was cool. Uh, uh, I would, the battles came out like last or July 4th. I man, I'll be honest with you. I didn't try to rush to watch the battles. I'm just watching on my own pace. Whenever I feel like watching battles, that's where I'm gonna watch. But I'm not really say, oh, let me go watch these battles. Nah, I'm sorry, with y'all. Whenever I feel like watching those battles, I'll watch them. I didn't, that's it. But yeah, we got. I think that's it for this week. Really much to talk about. You know, uh, we had the Boots fight. We had Shakur fought like last week, and so we are about to get Terrence Crawford fighting in like 2 weeks. I want to say 2 weeks to 3 weeks in August 3rd. So we'll see what happens then. I might watch that. I like the card in general. I like the card. The one thing I would tell you, something I like about the Saudis getting into boxing, is the whole business thing. You know how Ryan Garcia and Tank took so long to make their fight because they were doing negotiating.
Mm.
The Saudis have kind of erased. I think I want to say shout out to Ryan Garcia and Tank, because I believe they started this whole thing.
They got right to it.
Because when they did the negotiating, I think the Saudis saw the success and they said, "What if we do this? What if we take away the business side of it? We become the business side of it." Like the it was so hard if you're signed to Mushroom and you're signed to PBC with Eddie Hearn, or if you're signed to Oscar De La Hoya, that's the zone, and PBC was with. It was hard for them to make fights because PBC doesn't want to the fighter that they invest in to lose to a Mushroom guy for their on their platform. So it made it hard to make names because most big names were not on the same company.
Mm.
But when Tank and Ryan did it, where the Zone Showtime kind of collaborated and made it a big fight, I think the Saudis said like, oh, we can see. I see. They are boxing is a great sport. It just needs somebody to invest in it and kind of be the middleman between all these different sanctioning bodies or this promotional company. I and make it like a bridge for them to communicate with each other, right? Bring that relationship. Shout out to Tega Lishiki. I think he's a prince in. I don't know if he's a prince in Saudi Arabia, but he's the one who does all this whole kind of good entertainment. He's in charge. I know he's in charge for entertainment in Saudi Arabia. So he's the one who's been doing all the booking, you know, for boxing. So he's the one who did Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou versus uh Tyson Fury. He did when the reason why even Tank Deontay Wilder got knocked out, the 5v5. He's the one who came up with the idea. So it's called Rare Season. Like you heard from yesterday, they were saying sponsored by Rare Season, and Tech Alish is in charge of that. I think he's the president for Rare Season. So he's been bringing the fights, and they have the best right now. The biggest fight card other than the Boots fight card, that I was looking forward to is that card because we have we have uh, uh, Terence Crawford versus Madrumov. We have People Cruz fighting for I think another belt of defending his belt. Then we have Andy Cruz fighting. We have Jaren Anderson. We have Anthony. Is a whole big names. It is big name cards. Like most of these fighters can be main event. I think the only one that can be a main event was probably Andy Cruz. He just started his professional fight like a year ago. He trains with Boots, but he's a big name. He has already made it. He won gold in the Olympics last Olympics. He's the reason why his main opposition or main rival is friends with Shakur Stevenson is Kishan Davis, because he's the reason Kishan Davis didn't win gold because Kishan lost to him in the amateurs and in the Olympics. So they've been talking back and forth, and but hey, Kishan Davis already made a name for himself since the going pro, and he just went pro like a year or two. I think it was a year ago. It was a year ago, but he's doing great. So I'm about to buy that pay per view. I might watch it. I might do a live stream because I go like if y'all don't follow me on Kick because I'm doing big live stream. Wait a minute. I might not. I can. I might. I might not do that live stream because that same day is WWE Survivor Series. So I can't be live commentating on that live stream. I might live commentary for WWE, but hopefully it ends soon. They do it quick because the last time they did it, they were going at the same time, and it kind of made me mad. But hopefully it can. And oh, shout out to Eminem is performing at that event. I forgot to say that Eminem is going to be the live performer of that event. And the last time they did the event, the 5v5, GID was the performer for that. So Eminem, hopefully the Eminem brings out JID because they have a song to get. Oh yeah, now let's talk about, shout out to Eminem. He released his new album, The Death of Slim Shady. And I'm gonna lie to you, this album is a work of art because the album is it's if you are sensitive, you might take offense to this album. If you're a sensitive type of person, right? You might take offense to the album because he's saying outlandish things. But me personally, I don't care what he says. I just want to hear what I like Eminem. Eminem is one of my top rappers of all time, one of my favorite rappers. So I like what he was saying. But if anyone decides to listen to the album and y'all say, "Oh, I'm just gonna go with what people are saying is the best songs," don't do that because you're gonna be confused of what's going on. Because the whole album, when I say it's a work of art, it's a story. But it's not a story, but it's more of like from you gotta listen from how the songs are put down in the album, like from first to the last song, right? Because when you listen that way, because some songs are a continuation from the last song that's in the album. Let's say for example, there's a song called Lucifer, right? That song ends when you say Antichrist. The next song is Antichrist. So that's is literally continuation of wherever he left off into Antichrist. It's like a sometimes it's like a two-song continuation story, but
It's
it's a
like
good
Jaden Smith when he starts his album with four songs that all sound and go into each other.
it's like that, but it doesn't. The sounds are different. Is the beat is not this the same? It's not the same beat, but he'll say a word that goes into the
No,
next.
Jaden Smith don't see you don't know.
Yeah,
Jaden Smith will make one song, but the instruments and what they using in the chorus will literally smooth right into the next song.
yeah, it's
Like he'll
like
do this
that.
for four songs straight, and it'll tell his whole story. But
It's like
it just makes
that,
the
but
album.
it's more. It's not like a fourth song. It's like every two songs is like that. It's like a two-song type of thing.
That's
So you
tough.
would say like Lucifer on Lucifer, he ended with in the Lucifer song he ended. I think he said something. He called his Paul Rosenberg, his longtime manager. Then he said the word Antichrist, right? Then the next song was Antichrist. Then it ended like because it's like that. Then and there are some skits in between the album with these skits where one of them the skits is Eminem talking to Slim Shady. Slim Shady is trying to kill Eminem, and Slim Shady is telling you can't get rid of me. You thought you gonna get rid of me. No, it was actually a whole work of art. It's like an art type of thing. He made it like an artwork, but I like it. I listened to the whole album. I only skipped one song because I'm doing a live reaction to the song on my YouTube channel tomorrow, right? But the whole album is a good album, good ass album. Uh, man, yeah,
As soon as he got in the car, you started talking about this album. He was like, "Yo, did you listen to it yet?"
I go live.
I listen
I
to it
gon-
eventually, but I don't
yeah,
really. I'm not hyped for Eminem album in 2024.
I think yeah.
Love
I
Eminem,
don't,
not
but
for a
I
rapper.
don't. If people saying is the title of the album true? No, it's not. Slim Shady didn't die. He tried to kill Slim Shady, but he didn't die. Uh, the last two songs are heartfelt because the last two songs where one was directed to his daughter, Hailey, in it was more of like in case he died. I think he made it, you know, I don't know when he made the song, but it was more in case he died, you know, he gave Hailey instructions what to do. Like take care of your two siblings that he adopted, you know, the two children that he adopted from one of his is his stepchild or stepdaughter that he adopted, made his own, and the other one is his niece from his wife's his ex-wife Kim's sister, and his brother. He's like, take care of your, you know, your take care. He name dropped them, but he said take care of them, and he was telling him not to cry. We will see each other and everything. It was heartfelt. Then the last song was "Somebody Save Me." I think, was talking from his perspective when he was an addict, right? Because he had Jerry Roll as the chorus, and Jerry has talked about him being an addict too. So he was talking from his perspective of being an addict and how also like the way of saying, oh, I'm like the way the vision was. What if the addicts took him away before he saw Hailey grow up when he was taking the, you know, the drugs, right? Before she even made her first podcast, before she even walked down the aisle, because he missed before, like he missed everything. He was It was a whole lot of the last two songs. If you shed a tear if you listen to it. But I like it, and Jerry Wall has been so far in the two albums that I have listened to. He has been every song that he has been. It has something to do with addiction or drug addiction. The last album that I listened to was the Jonah Lucas album. Although he's talking about the drug addiction, and this one is the same thing. And you know, there's bonus songs with somebody that you know, Vinique put me on West Side Boogie. He's on the album, but he's on the bonus song. So I don't know how you can get the bonus tracks, but it's the whole Shady oh well, I say the new artist under Shady Records. It's Eminem, Easy Mill, West Side Boogie, and I forgot the third name. But yeah, but I like the album. Right now is the number one album on Apple Music, Spotify, and other platforms. He's number one. So he kind of, the first song Renaissance kind of talked about, he was used talk about the haters. Uh, Brought up, there are people who got dissed a lot. MGK got dissed in the album. Bruce Jenner, got dissed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Owens got dissed in there. Christopher Reeves got mentioned. RP to Christopher Reeves. I think then the person who responded was Kenneth Owens. She kind of showed that she didn't listen to the album because she thought Eminem dissed Kanye. He never dissed Kanye. He kind of showed Kanye love. That's surprising.
But he just her.
He dissed her, but he showed Kanye love. Because he said, "Oh, one of the songs he was talking about, they're gonna cancel Eminem, and we're gonna say we already." He said, "We already got rid of Kanye. We about to join him next." That's probably the only line that Ken is kind of pointing. Saying, "You threw Kanye under the bus," and everyone's like, he didn't." he was talking from a perspective from the fans, but he didn't actually diss Kanye. He never mentioned anything bad about Kanye at all. The only bad people who got dissed directly is you, Bruce Jenner, MGK. Well, MGK didn't officially get dissed officially. It was more of like he got mentioned when Eminem was talking to Slim Shady about how he didn't like bullies growing up, but you bullying everyone else and every feud that he has been in. You know, it was he mentioned everyone he has feuded with. Like I didn't know that Eminem feuded with Will Smith. He had a beef with Will Smith for a while. I didn't know that. Well, I did. I kind of did know that him and
I
Will
didn't
Smith.
know that.
It's not a. It was not officially beef. It wasn't not an official beef. It was what Will Smith had said about uh that he believes people should stop cussing it. He was, cussing in their records to get their point across. And Eminem took offense to that. He said, "Some of us cussing is how we get our point across. You don't have to do that because that's your type of thing. But some of us we have to do that." It was not officially beef, but it was kind
That
of
wasn't no beef. All I know is Benzino, Ja
it
Rule,
was yeah. He brought up
Nick
Benzino.
Cannon, Mariah Carey,
He didn't mention Nick Cannon. I
Kim
go like
Kardashian.
Nick Cannon didn't get mentioned. Mariah Carey didn't get mentioned
And
in
then
the album.
everybody else was just, that was just, oh, he did put your name in the radio record.
Yeah,
But
the only people who got mentioned that he had dissed officially was Benzino, Ja Rule, Cannabis, MGK. Yeah, that's it. Nick Cannon didn't get a mention. He didn't. I think he did that on purpose. He did, he's not trying to get Nick Cannon. He's not trying to get Nick Cannon to try to relaunch his rap career again. He's like, nah, you good. Stay wherever you at. Stop. Don't rap again.
yeah, he should never rap again. Remember a couple years ago when he tried to get everybody and
Yeah,
wilding out the diss him or whatever?
yeah, and
That was
and and
dumb.
he still got ignored, and he's still getting ignored. I think he never mentioned Eminem. Eminem never mentioned him ever when he did the whole thing with the invite canceled invite. You get invited to the one out. It didn't work. He didn't get mentioned. He's like a side chick. Like you didn't get mentioned in my album. But yeah, but
Wilding
without
out kind of went downhill since there. We don't want to talk about it, but
not really. I think
I
you kind of
mean,
changed.
they
I
took
think it would.
the show
The,
from Nick Cannon for comments, and then Nick Cannon became a podcaster for a couple months, and then
oh
they got
yeah,
the show back because nobody else will host it, and they didn't
no.
want to
So
take the
no,
risk.
for that, the crazy
But
part
since
is
then, it hasn't been what it used to be.
actually, now you brought that up. Is the I think we talked about it on the podcast. I don't remember if we did, but when they did that, Nick Cannon forgot that he owned one now. He didn't like it was.
How the
He
fuck you
said
forget that you own one another? Y'all niggas listen to any fucking thing, bro.
no. It was
Hey yo,
because you know how Nick Cannon worked with CBS and he was on show like he hosted. So when they present Nick Cannon, he's the host for one now. So he when his comments got when he got canceled and MTV tried to get another host, it was you know so MTV, how can I say, MTV was trying to get a host, but MTV is not the one who makes the decisions on shows. They go to Vidacom, you know.
so apparently he owned the show when he
Yes.
got kicked from the show. How do
So
you kick somebody from the show that he owns?
so
But apparently, somehow he got kicked from the show
no, so
that
this
he
what
owned, and as of June 2024, Viacom and CBS owns a show that is dead. I don't believe none of that shit. Somebody
No,
gotta show me a concert. Y'all niggas is
no, it's
tripping.
because this
He
what
owned the show he got kicked from. He literally got kicked from. Like,
yes,
what are we
because
talking about?
this what I think I think it was Cat Williams and Kevin Hart kind of explained how Nick Cannon has ownership to the show, right? Because he in you know how so they talked at the behind the scenes. He's like when you see a host and they say, oh, they are hosting the show, like Max Singer, like Nick Cannon is kind of part of the they will say Nick Cannon is the face of Max Singer because but he doesn't own the show. Like Steve Harvey with Family Feud. We all know Steve Harvey with Family Feud. We think Steve Harvey. Every time you see Family Feud, you think of Steve Harvey.
Yo, you can't get kicked from a show that
So
you own. And
this
I
what
lived
happened
before, so he literally was kicked from the show for
so
like
when
8 months.
so he got fired by Vitacom, right? So when he got fired by Vitacom and CBS and MTV, they're like, oh, we need a new host, and they went all when they went and they looked in the contract, they're like, Vitacom came, the CEO of Vitacom said, we can't get approval, we can't get a new host if unless we go talk to Nick himself. They're like, then MTV was like, why? He's like, because Nick
You gonna make
Cannon.
me go do the googling for some shit that don't even matter. The
So
nigga
Nick
got
Cannon,
booted from his own show, and
let me explain. So
he
Nick
don't
Cannon,
own the fucking show.
no,
If
he
they
owns
own it,
it. He actually owns it.
no, as of June 2024, that's not true.
Well,
But
yeah,
I feel
because
like
he
they should
sold
have
it.
owned it because he got
No,
kicked from his own show.
because I think from he said it. I think recently on his own podcast with the females on one another, he said it that he's after this next season, he's no longer gonna be the host. He said, I already I went and I saw the show to Vidacom because I don't want to be the host. He said I don't want to be the host because I've been doing the show since it started from season one. Then we got canceled. Then we came back with we took our it's like we did the first 5 seasons. We stopped doing the seasons because the rest of the cast, some of the cast were doing TV. Then we came back. It's like since then I've been doing the show for years. Since then, now it's like it's been like 20 years. It's like
I just
almost
want to
20.
call Homeland Security because this bullshit is just getting
But
out of
he
hand.
said it. I think
How do you
when
get kicked from your own show?
so let
We gotta really like think with
let me
brains.
explain.
Like,
I'm trying to explain, but you're not letting me explain. So he even said, I think he said it. I don't think it was on a podcast, but he said it on something. He said, "Yo, it was Cat Williams because Cat Williams is also ownership. The original cast of One and Out from the Cat Williams, I don't other comedians, they have ownership because
so now everybody owns the show.
no, it was not everybody. It's the I think the original. I don't know how
No,
many.
it's okay. It's alright. Yo,
Let me. I don't
you
know
can't
exactly
get
what,
kicked from
but
your
I think
own show. You
because
don't own the show if you're getting kicked from it.
he didn't get kicked
We
because
both
he said
lived this moment, bro. He was not on the show for how many months?
because
And
they
they
didn't.
tried to
No,
do
the show
something
never.
with the show.
After remember when he said the comments, the show never came on TV because they were trying. The other person that they tried to go to was DC because they
DC
went.
said he wouldn't do it because he wouldn't want to do it. The other two
That's what happened because DC they said
But he
the
did. He y'all, you're forgetting he disrespected. So well, not disrespected because I think what he said was cool, but he disrespected one of the Jews that owns, I believe, that owns the show, and they kicked him from the show, or they
no, they
he owns
tried to
something
kick
else.
it. No, he said anti-Semitic things. He didn't disrespect the Jew. He said anti-Semitic things. He
Yeah,
did
it
what?
have to do with
Like for example, at the Pat McAfee show, how the Pat McAfee show
yes.
on ESPN, like the way how Pat McAfee was talking shit about ESPN's one of the ESPN's producers. Like he said shit up. Like he
Yeah,
said
but
that's
when Pat McAfee is a third of all your money, and
Yeah.
he's taking up the entire ESPN block for 6 days a week or something like that.
So this what
He
that's what I'm
can't
saying.
do nothing with this white man.
No, but he didn't say anything about anybody. Everyone
Wild
else.
Out hasn't been making money for how long? Like,
But they're
it's
doing
not
tours
really
though. Don't.
making money.
But what that is not only no longer is no longer only a show. They do tours and they have a restaurant.
Yeah, they do their thing, but it's
Yeah,
not making the lead of money. That's
I
what
don't think.
MTV and CBS and that's not their lead
But
money. Like, that's not what
but I don't think
they're
because
worried about.
MTV is no longer making money itself.
Exactly. So we worry
Because
about 2% of the money of a place that's not making money overall. What
but
we
I don't think
talking about?
because I think he was Nick Cannon was on I think the pivot and he was asked, oh, what's the view? He's like, this season, he actually mentioned, he's like, yes, I sold my ownership to Vidacom for one and out. And they asked him, why
I
did
want
you
to
do
see
that?
them contracts because I that shit don't make no
He's like, why did you do that? He's like, because he's like, it was more of, he's like, when I sold it in 20, he's like, I just finished the deal because I don't want to be hosting no more. And I rather, it's like the show was meant to start our careers for young comedians. He's like, he's like, so I went to talk to the rest of the people who own. He's like the original people who own. These like there are three people who own One and Out. He's like, I'm one of them, and Kel Williams was part of the ownership. I don't know the third person because he's like, One and Out didn't start on TV. He's a One and Out. When we first started One and Out, it was a group of comedians that I knew, and at the time we didn't have jobs, so we started it in a club. The comedy club. We rented out the comedy club, and it's like when the whole council thing happened, and we were having talks because it was talks, and I'm like, okay, it's like, I knew. He's like, I was like, oh shit, I'm about to lose, thing. And he was like, because he's like, the first time we made the deal with a partnership. He's like, he's like, he's like, I'm in TV. So I was like, oh, why not? Because I signed the contract. Is I signed the contract with MTV and Vidacom. But on the contract, it's like it was years ago. I forgot what the contract said. It was Kev Williams came back when they did the whole canceling Nick Cannon. Kev Williams came and said, bro, it was Kev Williams and Kevin Hart because I guess the Vidacom called them, right? And he's like, Kevin, he's like, Kevin Hart is my best friend. Kevin Hart called me and said, yo, why is the Vidacom is asking for our permission? You don't know that? He's like, don't you know that you are part of the ownership? He's like, why you think they are not doing anything? Because you have the last say so. You are part of the ownership. Because literally, I think he said it. I don't know where he said it when he did the interview when about what happened in 2020. He's like, the funny part. He's like, I realized. He's like, the funny thing is like I talked to my lawyers. He's like, we were in there with my lawyers, and I asked one of my agent. I'm like, yo, why every time Viacom does a meeting about one now we are in the board meeting? He's like, I'm realizing. I'm like, oh, we are in the board meeting about the show. He's like every show I've been on, they have board meetings. I never I'm not in the board meeting. It's like for my singer, everything because Vidacom owns them. But when it comes to one out, I own one now. And that was like 2 years ago when he said this. But yes, he they tried to get a host for one out. They didn't get a host because they said the only person who approved one and out, that the only host that he had Nick had approved to replace him was DC, but DC said no. So Nick Cannon said the only person they came to him and said we're gonna have two. They came with names to replace him as a host, but he said no to everyone except for DC. And and his reason was because DC has been there, so he knows the culture. That's why when they came back, you kind of saw DC host. Literally, I think people don't. If you keep watching one now, is that Nick Cannon now does it on purpose. Where some episode he doesn't is not even there. He lets DC host, or he lets one of the other females who have been there, because since he came back after 2020, he switched it. He's no longer red squad versus. He said old school versus new school. That's where you see there's no longer the battle between, remember when, the old one now, when He-Man and Consider used to go back and forth against each other.
Hmm.
Like when you see the clip, that doesn't happen no more because Nick Cannon switched it. Nick normally he used to make sure that Conceited and He-Man had on two different teams, but now considered him and Hard and Chap Clips are always on the same team. They're always on the old school. So the entertainment of them rapping on the rapping part is more of like considering, and him and Hala and Chalkis gotta team up against the new school, and hopefully one of the new schools comes in and tries go after them. And there's only one who has tried that. That was the Jewish guy. I don't know. I think he's still on the show. I forgot his name, but he went after Charlie Clips, and him and was like, yo. That's when him and Charlie Clips is like, yo. He's like, him and why you feel about Fester Bob? Then then him and was like, I'm in the blow me. I might clap the Bob. No, he's a fat Bob. They were saying a whole lot of. Yeah, I was like, oh man. I was like, I like the old one now because it kind of made it better when he kind of made sure him and Charlie Clips or him and Consider were on two different teams. Because when it came to the rapping part, you kind of expected the rappers to
Back and
kind of,
forth. Yeah.
yeah. But since he's made it old school versus new school, the only person who kind of goes after the rappers is DC because he's the only one who can keep up with them. But some of the new schools are strictly comedians that don't rap, or some of them are new to television, so you kind of see it. But I think by next year you might. I don't know who's going to be the host after he sold it, but I think it's between probably is going to be DC, because DC has been the whole. He's been hosting a few more what announced, and he's been doing he also hosts Celebrity Squares on the same channel as what announced. So they might say, "Oh man, you already have in hosting experience," but yeah, but yeah,
Yeah. It says it right here. He made anti-Semitic remarks. He claimed that he was the rightful owner in 2020. I don't believe so. So you don't claim that you're the rightful owner and then be the owner. Whatever. That's
but
fine. Hey,
yeah, hold on.
business behind things where
Let's read what happened. I'm about to read. Okay, VSM has made. Yeah, but hey man, but yeah, we are done for the podcast. Uh, see you guys in the next episode. We got we got a lot of things we covered. I didn't talk about WWE yet because yeah, man, I'll be honest, I was pissed. I was pissed last week, man. I was pissed, but we'll talk about it to next week. But we are out, man. Peace.
peace.